What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Chuds BBQ. My name is Bradley Robinson, and today I'm going to show you how I made these beautiful, delicious, smoky, plump beef and pork sausages. Because today we're going to finally find out, is it worth it to spend 3 days making sausage or make it all in one sitting? Coming up! This is some meat. Pat it dry. So what I got here is some brisket fat, some brisket meat, and of course a big old pork butt on this side. Luckily this one is boneless. These are already cubed up from the last time I trimmed a brisket. Thank you, past Brad, for already doing that for me. But just like any other sausage video, we're just gonna cube this up into little pieces that'll fit into our meat grinder a little bit easier down the road. So what we got here is 5 pounds of meat total each. We got 1 pound of beef fat, 2 pounds of brisket, 2 pounds of pork butt on each tray, trying to keep this experiment as consistent as possible. And I know a 4-to-1 ratio sounds like it's gonna be a pretty lean sausage, but obviously this brisket in that pork butt has a whole bunch of fat in it, so should end up with a perfect 80-20, 70-30 meat to fat ratio, giving us some lovely juicy sausage. So this one is going away for a few days, but this one's getting the old 3-day treatment, so we gotta get our spices together. So into our vessel here, we're going in with some kosher salt, pink curing salt, granulated garlic, granulated onion, some dry mustard, paprika, some 16 mesh black pepper, a little bit of cayenne, and some turmeric, just for some color. Just get that all nice and mixed up. And then in we go with all of our meat. And just make sure everything is evenly distributed. Looking good. And now into the fridge this goes overnight. 24 hours later, it's time to grind some sausage. As you can see from the overnight cure, all those spices have hydrated and really infused into the meat. It's definitely got a much firmer texture. That salt and the cure have really done its job. Smelling very nice. And I did pop this into the freezer about 45 minutes ago to make sure the stuff is nice and cold. And now I'm just gonna load up the old chute here. That way I can grind right back into this dish and not have to wash another thing. I got the coarse dye on there. I think it's a 10 mil or something like that. I like the coarse dye on sausages, so let's grind away. Beautiful. And at this point, we're gonna go ahead and add in our binder, which is some milk powder. You could add this the night before, but it's very powdery and it tends to gunk up inside the meat grinder. I like to add it at this point just to make things a little bit easier. Also helps it grind a little bit cleaner. And once that is evenly distributed, we're gonna go in with our liquid component, which is some water. And of course, if you wanna know more about the ratios and all that, you can check out my dedicated sausage ratio video. But at this point, we're just gonna mix this up until everything comes together and is nice and sticky and nice and tacky. All that myosin is released, and we got the proper protein extraction, giving us a nice tight bound sausage. And after several minutes, this stuff is nice and tacky, sticking to the hand and ready to be cased. Ugh. Going on with some standard 32-ish mil natural hog casings today, folks, as I typically do. We're gonna do the same for both batches of sausage. Ooh, this is a long one. Tie it off, snip the tip. And now we case away. Just gonna make some average normal sized links today, folks. Right around the 6-inch mark, which is average. And just make sure everything is nice and tight, nicely plumped, getting 0 air pockets into these links, which is the way I like to go about it. Ooh, yeah. Nothing to it. And just like that, 5 pounds of sausage cased up, looking great, looking quite nice, if I do say so myself. Nice and plump. This came together in about 8 minutes. Gotta love a small batch of sausage. But for the next stage of this cook, these now go into the fridge on this wire rack, uncovered overnight. And what that's gonna do is really help dry out all these casings and make sure all that meat gets used to its new form. So we'll see you tomorrow. This video is brought to you by HelloFresh. Make mealtime easy with delicious recipes made with fresh, wholesome ingredients delivered right to your door. I know for me, the hardest part to eating healthy during the week is finding a recipe, heading to the grocery store, trying to find all the correct ingredients, just to then wait in line at the cash register and come home and prep everything, and then have to deal with all the leftover ingredients that I didn't end up using. But with HelloFresh, meal kits get delivered right to my door, and I can have a delicious meal on the table in less than 30 minutes. And because they only give you what you need for the specific meal, it helps me drastically cut down on food waste. waste. And because March is National Nutrition Month, this week I opted for a pescatarian box, and this garlic shrimp scampi was incredibly tasty. And with everything getting more expensive nowadays, now is the perfect time to get started with HelloFresh, because it's cheaper than traditional grocery shopping and up to 70% less expensive than dining out. With 40 weekly recipes to choose from catering to all eating habits and diets, you can also customize select meals by swapping proteins, sides, or even adding a protein to a veggie dish. So if you have a busy lifestyle and are looking for a little help with your weeknight meals, or just getting started in the kitchen and need a little help learning the basics, go to HelloFresh.com and use code ChudsBBQ60 for 60% off plus free shipping. Again, I'll have a link in the description box of this video taking you to HelloFresh.com, where you can use code ChudsBBQ60 for 60% off plus free shipping. Thank you, HelloFresh. One overnight later, these sausages are looking absolutely beautiful. First and foremost, they've dried out, dehydrated a little bit, which means they're gonna shrink up to the meat, giving us a much snappier bite at the end. Two, the extra time has allowed all the water and the milk powder to rehydrate and get all those spices together. And also the extra time is great for ground meat, because if you've ever made a burger and formed it, the next day it's gonna be a lot more firm because all the meat is bonded back together. And another benefit of letting these chill overnight is that all the little ties between each link have dried out, meaning we can now snip them apart without worrying about all the meat blowing out of the end during the cooking process. So let's do that. Looking good. Whether it takes 3 days or 3 hours, one of these days I'm gonna get that pesky little snake out of my boot. And on the pit we go. I'm gonna leave them on this wire rack just to keep them nice and clean. Don't wanna get any of those sooty grate marks on those sausages. Also makes it a lot easier to move them around. But we're gonna be smoking these super low and slow. I'm gonna try and keep the temperatures as low as possible and as smoky as possible. Definitely don't wanna get above 150 degrees. And we're gonna smoke these for probably 4 hours or so, just to get some really good color on there, some really good smoke flavor on there, and make sure that they are nice and smoky and nice and plump. So that is the professional 3-day process for how to make sausage. This is how I did it at all the restaurants I worked at, and how a lot of barbecue joints around here are making it to this day. And as I explained throughout, there are a lot of benefits to this method, from letting the spices hydrate and letting the cure do its work, drying out the casing, and really letting all that flavor develop. But for the home cook, spending 3 days to make sausage is kind of impractical. So now, using all the exact same ingredients, we're gonna make a single day batch of sausage so we can compare and contrast the differences between the two methods. So what I got here is the exact same spices that we put into the first batch, down to the gram. We got the milk powder, all the spices, the cure. I made them at the same time. But because this does have the cure in it, and we're not gonna be letting this rest for 8 to 24 hours, we need to add a cure accelerator in the form of sodium erythorbate. And basically what happens is when you add nitrites to your sausage, it takes about 8 to 12 hours for that nitrate to convert into nitric oxide, which is the curing process. But by adding a cure accelerator like this, it happens instantly. And again, the main reason for adding curing salts is because we're cooking this super low and slow. The needle on this dial has yet to move, which means the sausage in there is held right in the danger zone, and we don't want to get sick or cause botulism or anything like that, and that's what the pink salt prevents. It also adds a nice hammy cured meat flavor, as well as helping with the color to give us that nice pink charcuterie sausage vibe. Half a teaspoon for this 5-pound batch is all we need. And right here we have the other batch of meat from the other night. I back sealed it up to keep it fresh, but this is the exact same ratios from the exact same cuts as the other batch. I popped this in the freezer about an hour ago, so it is very cold to help us get a nice clean grind. So, through the grinder we go. Beautiful. And now in we go with all of our spices. And same process as before. I like to add the spices separately when I'm doing a single day batch like this, just because we lose less spices in the grinder. That milk powder tends to gunk things up, and it just makes that grinder a little bit easier to clean. Going in with our water, and now we're just gonna mix this all up. Nice. Nice and tacky. And as if I was a true scientist, we're gonna use the exact same casing that we used last night. Oh yeah, not much left of it. Get it on there. Tie it off yet again. Snip the tip. You know the drill. And now we case away. Feeling pretty similar at this point. And just like that, we are all cased up. So what I'm gonna do now is pop this in front of a fan in my house for probably 30 minutes to an hour, just to dry out the casings and give all the salt and spices a little bit of a head start flavoring this meat. After about 45 minutes under the fan, these are looking good. Definitely dried out a little bit. Probably could snip them apart at this point, but I'm a little nervous, so I'm gonna leave them linked up. But it's time to throw them on the pit. Ooh, right next to the other ones. Looking good. 4 hours later, let's check in on these links. Looking real nice, nice and red. Beautiful color on there. I did flip these over about an hour ago to make sure they're getting even smoke color on both sides, but these are looking nice and smoky, so off the pit they come. And directly into a water bath they go. This is gonna halt the cooking process, shock the casings a little bit, which is really gonna help with snappiness. It's also a good chance to wash these off of any extra smoke or soot that may have gathered on these things, and just rapidly cool them down. Boop. Set these aside. And this other batch is looking quite nice and smoky as well. I'm gonna go ahead and snip these all apart at this point now that they've had a chance to dry out a little bit more. Line these back up, flipping them over to get some smoke on the underside. And these went on about 1 hour after the other one, so we're gonna smoke these for another hour to get some color on this underside, and then we'll check back in. And just like that, 1 hour later, this other batch is done, looking nice and red, and again, into the ice bath they go. Yoink! And after the ice bath, I wiped them down because everybody loves a clean ween, folks. But these are both looking absolutely fantastic. We got the freshly made over here and the 3-day over here. They look very similar, although these ones look a little bit more red, but that may be because of my fire management skills. Who knows? But over here, I've got the pit fired up to about 275, 300 degrees. We're gonna throw a few of these on there, cook them all the way through, and then it'll be time for the taste test. And here we have them fresh off the pit. We got our 3-day process over here and our freshly made over here. And in a weird turn of events, the professional ones got a lot darker than these ones. Very weird. From a firmness standpoint, they both feel incredibly plump, like they're about to pop, but this one definitely feels a little bit more dense than this one. But I had a little tester link in there. I took these up to about 165 degrees, 170. So they are fully cooked and should be nice and juicy, feeling incredibly plump and looking very good. I'm not gonna lie about that, folks. I'm pretty pleased with how these came out. So I'm gonna let these cool down for a little bit so they don't juice out all over the place and burn my mouth, and then we will slice in and see how they came out. It's time. Ooh, nice and juicy. Beautiful texture on that, really nothing to complain about there. And now for the 3-day process. Again, looking very similar, nice and juicy. Ooh, how you doing? All in all, I really don't see much difference between them because they're made almost exactly the same. So let's go ahead and see if there's a taste difference. We'll start with the 3-day process. Nice, juicy, perfectly plump, looking nice and red, nice and smoky, nice and juicy. Oh yeah. All in all, fantastic sausage, very smoky, really nice savory notes in there with the onion and the garlic and the pepper. Very basic flavor profile, kind of right down the middle, a little bit of kick, a little bit of savory, nothing too out of left field. Casing is perfect on it, nice and snappy, juicy. It's everything you want in a sausage. So now let's go for the one we made like 2 hours ago. Okay. Obviously, flavor profile is exactly the same. This one did seem a little bit juicier for some reason. If we look at them side by side, you know, cure-wise, juiciness-wise, they're the exact same color, which means that Cure Accelerator works really well. Let's get a cross-section, shall we? Again, this is the freshly made, and this is the professionally made. This one seems a little bit tighter. That might be because it was a little less stiff when I cased it. You know, curing ahead of time could potentially create more air pockets because the meat is tougher going through the grinding and mixing process, but that might be a fluke, so I'm not really gonna claim anything about that. But again, color-wise, very, very similar. I couldn't tell these apart. These look like they're from the same sausage, but they're clearly not. Interesting. Let's do the mustard test, shall we? Boop, boop. Very good sausage though. Gotta love a good smoky beef and pork sausage with all those lovely flavors in there. They're incredibly similar. So far, judging by just appearance and taste, if I was blindfolded, I do not think I could tell a difference. The mustard test was just because I like mustard. But let's go ahead and get a snap test, shall we? Good Lord, I'm drowning. So juicy, so plump. That's a beard ruiner for sure. Wow. Let's go ahead and try the 3-day process. Same test. Nice and juicy. Didn't quite gush like the last one, which is probably a good thing, honestly. Beautiful texture on that, though. So it would appear that the fresh-made sausage is a little bit juicier, and I'm assuming it's more water than it is fat because they have the exact same fat ratio, but there was also no liquid left in any of the pans when making the 3-day process, so I don't know how it would have lost any unless it was just through evaporation or something like that. We'd have to talk to someone who knows a little bit more about science than me. This is a 3-day over here. I think that looks a little bit more like a classic sausage than this one. one, but again, to an untrained eye, these are pretty much identical sausage links, you know? Interesting, very interesting. I've got an idea. We're gonna take one of each coin and I'm gonna put them on the ground, and whichever one Penelope goes for first will be the winner. She went for the 3-day process. Not sure what that tells you. Doing the real science over here today, PP. You good girl. So in conclusion, I really don't notice anything inherently better or worse about either one of these sausages. They are very comparable, and I think that is great because I was worried that the 3-day process was gonna win and then I'd have to do that every time. But knowing that they come out pretty much identical is great news because that means I can either split this process up, making my life easier, or I can knock it out all in one sitting. Because it really depends on your schedule. You know, the whole time I've been calling this the pro version and this the home cook, but really this version makes a lot more sense for the home cook. You know, Thursday night you take 10 minutes to cube up your meat, throw some salt on it. Friday night, you take 15 minutes to grind it and case it. And then Saturday, you've got all day to smoke this and eat some delicious sausages. Whereas this version is also convenient because instead of taking up fridge space for 3 days, I started this at like 12:30. It's now 6. So, you know, that's 6 hours of work to get this sausage. But to know that I can either break it up or do it all in one sitting is, I think, very beneficial for either the home cook or a restaurant. And it also breaks up the dishwashing cycle a little bit, which is always nice. I mean, I know personally making these videos, sometimes I like to just be one and done in one day, shoot everything in order to make life easier on the edit, which is why I do a lot of these one-day sausages. But if I've got a busy schedule, which I often do, it's really nice to be able to shoot a video with this style of sausage making where, yeah, it takes 3 days, but it's 15, 30 minutes at a time, which can really help break up the grind a little bit, you know? Pretty cool. I love sausage. Now I know she already had a taste, but I think it's time for the official taste test. Oops. All right, y'all, and that is it. That is my video of trying to answer the question that I have personally had for a very long time, which is it worth it to spend 3 days making sausage when you can, in fact, make it in about 6 hours? And the answer is not necessarily. Both sausages were nice and plump, very juicy, great flavor, and it really just comes down to your schedule. If you have the time to pump this all out in one sitting, I'd say go for it. But if you want to break up the process to make life easier depending on your schedule, either way, you're going to end up with great results. But all that being said, if you enjoyed this video, let me know by hitting that subscribe button. Let YouTube know by dropping a like on this video. If you give either of these techniques a try for yourself, be sure to tag me on Instagram at Chuds BBQ. I love to see what y'all are cooking. Big shout out to all the Patreon members. Thank you for supporting Team Chud and allowing me to keep making all of these videos. And until the next time I see you, please go cook something outside. Peace!